Welcome to this discussion. We are going through a question on rates and volume. And the question we have reads, a farmer has two similar cylindrical water tanks of height 1.75 meters each, which he uses for irrigation. To fill the tanks, the farmer pumps water from a dam using a petrol pump which pumps water at the rate of 1.2 liters per second. This is the rate. On a particular day, the farmer started pumping water into the empty tanks at 9:45 a.m. and both were full at 8:45 p.m. This water lasts for 2 weeks. Given that the cost of petrol was Kenya shillings 99 per liter and that the pump consumes petrol at the rate of 5 liters per hour, calculate the radius of each tank. So the first thing we do, I'm going to sketch the shape of the tank, and we are told the tank is cylindrical in shape. We have two tanks, each with a height of 1.75 meters. We are supposed to calculate the radius of each tank. The first thing we need to calculate, it is the volume of water that is getting into the two tanks. First, we know that the rate has been given, and we have been told that water flows into the pump at the rate of 1.2 liters per second. In this regard, we have to calculate the time or the number of hours between the time the water started flowing, that is 9:45 a.m., and we have the two tanks filling at 8:45 p.m. If you calculate the length between 9:45 and 8:45, you realize we have 11 hours. 11 hours into seconds. We want to know how many seconds are in 11 hours. You take 11, you multiply by 60 to change them into minutes, times 60 to change them into seconds, and this one gives us 39,600 seconds. We are told that water flows into the tanks at the rate of 1.2 liters per second, meaning in 1 second, the volume being delivered is 1.2 liters. In this case now, we have to calculate the number of liters which go into the tank in 39,600 seconds. So 39,600 seconds, we are going to have what volume? If you cross multiply, we are going to have 39,600, we multiply by 1.2 divided by 1, and this one gives us a volume equivalent to 47,520 liters. This is the volume delivered to both tanks. We need to calculate the volume of one tank. Volume of one tank will be equal to half of the total volume of 47,520, and this one gives us 23,760 liters. We know the height is in meters, and therefore we need to change the volume from liters into meter cubic, and we are going to do that by dividing by 1000. So into meter cubic, we are going to have 23, that is 23,760. We divide by 1000, and this one gives us 23.76 meter cubic. This is the volume of water in one tank, and this represents the volume of the tank. In short, we know that the tank is in cylindrical, and for us to get the volume, we use pi r squared height. We have pi is 22/7. We multiply by the radius squared because we are looking for the radius. We multiply by the height, which has been given as 1.75, and this one is going to be equal to 23.76. From there now, we can proceed by multiplying by 7 on both sides so that we get rid of the fraction. If you take now 22 times radius squared times 1.75, you get an answer equivalent to 38.5 r squared, being equal to 23.76 times 7, which gives us 166.32. For us to remain with radius squared, we divide both sides by 38.5 by 38.5. This and this goes, and our radius squared is going to be equal to 166.32 divided by 38.5, which gives us 4.32. From there we can now proceed and get the radius. And for us to get the radius, we take the square root on both sides. The square and the square root goes, and the radius is going to be equal to the square root of 4.32, giving us 2.078 meters. And by so doing, you would have worked out this particular question for you to score 6 marks in our first part of this question. We move down to part B. We are told the amount of money the farmer spends on water in 48 weeks for us to get the next 4 marks. In this case, we are told that the cost of petrol is 99 shillings per liter, and the pump consumes petrol at the rate of 5 liters per hour. For us now to get the total amount spent, that is part B of the question. Amount spent will be equivalent to, remember, we have 5 liters per hour. We multiply by the total number of hours that were taken to fill the tank. We multiply by the cost of petrol, which is 99, and this one gives us an amount equivalent to 5,445, and this amount is in 2 weeks. But we need to calculate the amount spent for a total of 48 weeks. So in this regard now we can move and say, in 2 weeks, we are spending Kenya shillings 5,445. What would be spent in 48 weeks would be equivalent to what? If we cross multiply, we are going to have 48 multiplied by 5,445. Then we divide by 2, and this one gives us a total of Kenya shillings 130,680. as the answer to part B of the question. Thank you for watching and welcome to this discussion. And in case you are watching this for the first time, kindly take 1 second and click the subscribe button so that anytime we produce a video like this, you'll automatically be given a notification.